Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you so much for joining us for our Friday weather update, the last Friday of October 2022. And we've got a fair amount to talk about with some big storms forming in the Southern Ocean and some slow-moving rain bands across New Zealand this weekend with extra warmth and humidity. Let's have a look at the animated wind map. A lot of low pressure at the moment in the Tasman Sea and the southeastern corner of Australia, and also northern and western parts of Australia. New Zealand, a little bit unsettled, and it's gradually going to get windier over the next 24 hours as this northerly flow here moves across the country. It's created by this massive high out to the east, but it's also held up by that same system, which means the rain clouds that are going to slowly move over the North Island will slow down, and therefore the rainfall accumulation rates go up. So there could be some heavy falls in places like Bay of Plenty and East Cape, and we've also got rain warnings from Met Service out for the western side and northwestern sides of the South Island. And on the other side in Australia, stormy weather coming back through again from the Southern Ocean, but next week an even bigger system. So let's take a look at the current thunderstorms on the IBM map from Weather Watch, and you can see again still stuck out here in the Tasman. As it moves in, some of those are going to come in and clip the lower part of the South Island, and then on Sunday there's also a risk of thunderstorms popping up during the afternoon because of that warmth and that northerly flow coming down plus the sun coming out. So typical spring weather. Meanwhile, the low here remains stuck over Tasmania with windy and showery weather into Melbourne, but pretty nice weather along the eastern side. So let's take a look at that rainfall for New Zealand. The heaviest falls in blue, where up to 200 millimetres possible on the tops of the mountains and ranges, and 170 millimetres for the Nelson Ranges. Heaviest falls in the North Island, you can sort of see a line through here. This could still change a bit because of that slow moving high out to the east. So those rainfall totals moving through will probably move around a little bit. Stay in touch with ruralweather.co.nz for more information. We've got a lot more detail there on those rainfall levels, like Whakatane could be getting about 80 millimetres, for example. So let's take a look at Saturday. Here is that windy change moving through, and you can see the northerly winds, north to northwest, depending on where you are. And that's the rain band that's slowly going to move in and mix with that more subtropical area. But to begin with, the heavy rain on Saturday is down on the west coast. Showery with cooler sou'westers blowing through for much of the southeastern corner of Australia. Over on the western side, you've got another low pressure system driving in easterlies for Perth. On Saturday night, that windy weather continues to move northwards. Worst winds through Cook Strait. Nothing too major, but just getting into that gale force zone, 60, 70, maybe 80 k's an hour. And then around here, you got sort of 30, 40, 50 kilometre an hour gusts. The calmest area, probably the Catlins. Hello to anyone watching there. On Sunday, low pressure down here to the south, the one that was around Tasmania, drifts down here, and it encourages that windy westerly around New Zealand on Sunday, and there is that rain, that subtropical rain, slow moving in those northern areas, and it's held up by the big high out to the east. Here's the next storm system for Australia, and look at this, the big wintry southerly coming into Perth. Your temperatures from Perth southwards are going to take a bit of a drop, and that windy stormy system tracking along the coastline, bringing gales into Adelaide, 80 to 90 kilometre an hour gusts coming in for you through the evening and out into Kangaroo Island, and then blustery weather going through Bass Strait as well on Sunday night, that is. Here's Monday, Halloween. Not much going on in New Zealand, a few showers. It's still raining though on East Cape and the eastern side of Bay of Plenty. That's why that area could be next for some rain warnings. Showers elsewhere, winds aren't too strong, not too dramatic, but if you're trick-or-treating in Adelaide or Melbourne or even Sydney and certainly Hobart, raincoat might be needed. And let's take a look at Tuesday, the Melbourne Cup. Not a lot different. Westerly winds, temperature of around 15 at Flemington Raceway at 3 p.m. your time in Australia, in Victoria, and a few showers around. Might even be a thunderstorm. So it's going to be a bit of an interesting day over there. And if you're watching it in New Zealand, a great day. It should be a lovely end to the afternoon. Most places sunny and dry for the workplace, drinks that often seem to happen. And windy nor'westers down here. That's the beginning of that storm in the Southern Ocean moving closer to New Zealand. But look what happens on Wednesday. Most of that low pressure drifts away to the Southern Ocean. High pressure still out here to our northeast, which means another burst of windy weather next week. This is what we would normally be seeing at the end of September, start of October. This year it's about a month later. So we're getting it now as we come to the end of October and the start of November. But this big blast of westerly weather is quite normal for spring. But for Australia, the one difference that's maybe not so normal, the cold air coming through, snow flurries along the mountains and ranges. So yeah, interesting time of year, that's for sure. Keeps us forecasters very busy. That's all from me. Have a great weekend. Look forward to seeing you again on Monday.